The second point where we have been extremely active is actually not just in the course of deciding a case, but also taking the next step forward in making sure that the judgment is actually being implemented. In the Council of Europe, we have a committee of ministers that oversees the execution of the judgments of the European Court of Human Rights. And in that process, under Rule 9, we as NHRIs have the opportunity, we are empowered to participate in the process, which of course we did. And when Switzerland said, nah, we're not really implementing the case, we managed to forcefully remind them with the assistance of our Swiss counterparts, and again with the whole of GANHRI chipping in, we were able to remind them rather forcefully that the idea of non-execution of a judgment of the European Court of Human Rights is not really the right way to address the issue. And I think they have more or less complied with that. There's quite a lot that is going to happen further on. The road is open, but it's by no means without challenges. There is a very recent case that has been decided by the court. The judgment came out on the 28th of October, just less than a month ago. It was a case that was brought by Greenpeace Norway against Norway, alleging that in the issuance of new exploration permits for oil and gas in the North Sea would be in direct contradiction to the obligations of Norway under the framework agreement on climate change, so much more so that the ICJ has indicated in its advisory opinion that there is an obligation to limit exposure to oil and gas and fossil fuels in general, and that obligation for the states includes the issuance of new exploration and exploitation permits. The court in this case was less radical, if you like. They followed a procedural approach and they said, okay, you know what, the environmental impact assessment was actually fine. Nothing that we could do about that. So the process was actually being followed. And they sort of indicated that it could have been otherwise, but very typically, if one were to use climate law regulations in order to go to the substance of the case. This has not been obviously tried as yet. There might be a chance coming up simply because my country, Greece, has very recently issued new licenses for exploration for oil and gas in the Ionian and the South African Sea. And that is expected to be challenged by environmental obligations. We also have the power to appear in court, and we'll see whether we will be in a position to participate in such a process. There has been an attempt previously, and the case had failed before the Supreme Administrative Court simply because they also followed the procedural approach, and the court said the environmental impact assessment was absolutely fine. Well, let's give it a try this time around using the substantive provisions of the climate law and figure out whether our obligations as the Greek state under the FCCC and our obligations under the European Convention of Human Rights can actually go hand in hand. I think there's quite a lot that is going to happen in the future, and the challenges remain, and we as an HRI will be there at the forefront trying to assist, help out, but in essence do what is best for ourselves, for our children, for the present and the future generation. Thank you so much.